What happens when a profoundly grieving woman isolates herself in a remote, windswept wilderness to escape the noise of a devastating loss, only to discover that the absolute silence of nature forces her to confront the very ghosts, family secrets, and buried truths she has spent her entire life running from? In the Great Quiet, a deeply atmospheric, poetic, and emotionally resonant literary fiction masterpiece by Laura Vogt, listeners are invited into a fierce, evocative meditation on sorrow, resilience, and the quiet power of human healing. The narrative follows a fiercely independent, guarded heroine who, in the wake of a sudden, shattering tragedy that has completely dismantled her urban life, packs her few remaining belongings and retreats to a stark, isolated cabin surrounded by a dense, unyielding forest. Seeking refuge in what she calls the Great Quiet, she plans to let the cold, rhythmic cycles of the natural world numb her aching heart, dedicating her days to basic survival, solitary treks through the rugged terrain, and the fierce maintenance of her self-imposed exile. However, the stillness she desperately craved quickly transforms from a comforting shield into a psychological mirror as the vast, indifferent landscape begins to echo with the memories of her past, the complex fractures of her family history, and the haunting questions she left unanswered. Her absolute solitary is gradually and gently challenged by a handful of local eccentrics, a reclusive neighbor carrying his own deep, silent scars, and a wild, intuitive stray animal whose quiet, undemanding presence steadily chips away at her icy defenses. The audiobook adaptation turns this beautiful, introspective novel into an incredibly immersive, deeply moving auditory experience, relying on a slow, melodic, and profoundly evocative narration that breathes life into the rustling leaves, the howling winds, and the raw, shifting vulnerabilities of a soul slowly choosing to live again. As a harsh, unforgiving winter closes in and threatens her physical safety, the heroine must face her deepest internal winter, proving that the only way to survive the crushing weight of the Great Quiet is to finally find the courage to speak her own truth aloud.